Hi everyone, welcome back to TLB Station. In today's video, we're diving into some lesser-known HTML tags that can help you enhance your web development skills and avoid the need for extra JavaScript. These tags are powerful tools that you might not be using yet, but can significantly improve your HTML projects. Let's get started. First up is the abbr tag, or the abbreviation tag. This tag is used to define abbreviations or acronyms. For example, we have HTML here. We use the title attribute to specify what HTML stands for. When you hover over HTML, you'll see the title we set in the title attribute. You can also use it with other elements, like buttons, like this. Next is the details tag. It creates an interactive disclosure widget that users can open and close to reveal or hide additional content. We use the summary tag to set the heading for the hidden content. Then we write the hidden content. Now if we click the heading, the hidden content will now appear. Note that the order of the summary tag relative to the hidden content doesn't matter. It doesn't affect how they are displayed. Also, adding another summary tag inside the details tag won't create a new widget. It will just be treated as additional content. Next is the fieldset and legend tags. The fieldset tag is used to group related elements in a form and creates a box around them. In this example, we're using the fieldset tag to group the name and password inputs. Notice how the fields are enclosed within a box. This makes the form look more organized. Now, moving on to the legend tag. The legend tag provides a caption or heading for the field set, describing what kind of information the group contains. It's typically placed at the top of the field set. Next is the pre-tag, or the pre-formatted tag. This tag is used to display text exactly as it's written, preserving spaces, tabs, and line breaks. It's perfect when you need to show code snippets or any content that requires specific formatting. We can use it to write code snippets like this, using %LT for the less than sign and %GT for the greater than sign. These are called HTML character entities. I'll talk more about them in another video. Next is the datalist tag, plus the option tag. The datalist tag specifies a list of predefined options for an input element. It provides an autocomplete feature for input elements, offering users a list of predefined options as they type. The options are defined using option tags inside the datalist. Here, we will define an input tag and set its list attribute to the ID of the datalist tag. For example, let's use the ID browser for our datalist tag. Note that the list attribute of the input tag must match the ID of the datalist tag. Then, we'll create the options within the datalist. When you start typing in the input field, you will see a drop-down list of browser options defined in the data list. Next is the dialog tag. We use it to create a dialog box or pop-up. In this example, we made a dialog tag with ID of box. To make it visible automatically, you can add the open attribute to the tag. But in most cases, we want it to appear when triggered by something like a button. Here we've added a button with a single line of JavaScript that opens the dialog by calling the show modal method. We can also add another button inside the dialog to close it using the close method. Next up, we have the progress and meter tags. These two tags are quite similar. First is the progress tag. It's used to display the progress of a task, typically as a progress bar. It's super easy to implement. In this example, we set the max attribute to 100 and the value to 20, meaning the task is 20% complete. The progress bar will show a visual indicator of how much of the task is done. This is often used to show things like download progress and installation steps, or any process that can be visually tracked with completion percentages. Next is the meter tag. which is used to represent a scalar measurement within a known range. Here, we set the max property to 100 and the value to 40. Now, you may think the two tags are the same but with a different color, but no. The meter tag has three special attributes that differentiate it from the progress tag: low, high, and optimum attributes. The low attribute is the minimum threshold, and any value under it will typically change the meter color to red, indicating a critical or low state. The high attribute is the maximum threshold, and values between low and high will display in yellow, signaling a warning level or caution. The optimum attribute defines the ideal or best value within the range. When the value is close to or higher than optimum, the meter will display in green, showing the system is in an optimal state. Next is the code and mark tags. The code tag is used to display inline code snippets in a monospaced font, which is ideal for representing code. On the other hand, the mark tag is used to highlight or mark text. It gives the text a yellow background to bring attention to it. Although you can achieve a similar effect with CSS, using these tags directly is simpler and more semantic for their respective purposes. Next is the WBR tag, or word break opportunity tag. It is used to suggest possible line breakpoints within long words or URLs to improve text wrapping and prevent horizontal scrolling or overflow issues. Simply place the WBR tag within a long word to indicate potential breakpoints without forcing an actual break. This can be useful for responsive design or when dealing with content that does not naturally break well. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.